Is the U.S. stock market about to collapse? Are we looking at the edge of a cliff, like 2008 and 09 repeated once again? Will the Federal Reserve ever raise interest rates? We've been near zero since 2008 and 09. Will they start to taper down on all the debt and bond purchases? Will they stop printing money? Will they put an end to the bailouts, PPP loans, most recently 2008-09, TARP, Operation Twist? Are they running this all to an end, or do they have something else planned? I'm Christopher Greene. This, of course, is AMTV. Please like and share this video and click the bell. Make sure that you get our notifications, all of our important breaking news updates. In the news today, and what I'll be personally eyeing over the next 48 hours, is a full rundown from the Federal Reserve and our Federal Reserve Chairman eclipsing tomorrow on Wednesday. They will be discussing Jerome Powell, whether or not they're going to address any of the issues that I just mentioned earlier on in this video. The Federal Reserve is not expected to make any policy moves that are dramatic, but it is likely to signal to the market that it is thinking about changing course on its bond buying policy. So let's think this through. If they start to taper and stop the purchases of bonds, how will that affect stocks? If they indicate that they may in fact raise interest rates, just budge them a little bit, say in 2023 on their dot plot, how will that affect the U.S. stock market? Now, Jim Cramer weighed in on this today, said we could get a temporary market crash, as historically we've seen in June.
In terms of how you're thinking about the markets, in terms of how you're thinking about the markets today and tomorrow, there's a lot of positioning and adjusting ahead of what we may or may not hear from Jay Powell. What's your expectation? What do you think is baked into the market in terms of how the market may react one way or the other, depending on what they hear?
Well, I think that watching your coverage all week, you have to believe that he has been saying, I'm going to stay the course, stay the course. But there's this just torturous Q&A thing that he does, which is just a nightmare. And there are going to be people who just ask about the PPI 8 straight times, and they're going to try to wear him down. And maybe at one point he's just worn down. He goes, yeah, I know we're buying too many mortgages, something like what Kyle Bass said. Or he slips up. I mean, Jay's really practiced. But on the 8th question or the 9th question, I think he's going to say, listen, I'm going to look at this, and that's going to freak people out. It's not going to necessarily be the statement. I think it's going to be much more of just the endless heckling by the press about what they think the, let's just say, the inflationistas want to hear.
And you think that if he lets up even just a moment, the market does what?
Market goes down big, and we go down for about 4 or 5 days. What can I say?
So time will tell whether or not this occurs or not. Now, the Federal Reserve is not expected to take any policy actions after its 2-day meeting this week, but it's likely to signal what it's thinking about the long term. Now, of course, we've seen cryptocurrency, blockchain in focus. This is why I encourage you to learn about it. Bitcoin smashed above 40K. I think it's like 39K right now. We're seeing movement across the board in the cryptocurrency space. People asking, is this the next leg up of the bull run, or could this be a head fake? I actually want your opinion on that, what you think is going to happen next. But to me, looking at this, I don't really see the Federal Reserve having a lot of moves here. I've talked about this for over a decade. I really don't know what more they can do. Incomes are down, rents are up, and we also got a report on the PPI, which was like the worst number that we have seen, the largest 12-month increase on record. Producer prices climbing 6.6%. This directly correlates and ties into inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 12 months is the fastest increase on record. At the same time, retail sales declined 1.3%, worse than the 0.6% estimate. Month over month, the producer price index increased about 0.8%, also faster than the 0.5 estimate. So we see prices rising. We see sticker shock for average consumers, you and me, at the grocery store. We talked about this yesterday. Commodities and food. In addition to that, rents are skyrocketing. This, according to CNBC News, rents for a single-family home just saw the largest gains in nearly 15 years, over a decade. affecting places like Arizona, which saw the sharpest increase in rents. Single-family rents were up 5.3% year over year in April, rising from a 2.4% increase in April 2020, according to CoreLogic. This is the largest annual gain in nearly 15 years. Regionally, by top 20 metropolitan markets, rent gains, as I mentioned, were highest in Phoenix. Now, marry this with the supply shock, which you should be coming to understand now, which has been a part of what's happened in the last year with the health event and everything that's been going on. There's also a shortage of key raw materials, goods, electronics, semiconductors, also putting pressure on inflation. In fact, billionaires, talked about this yesterday, like Paul Tudor Jones, are very worried about this, almost it appears worried about some kind of hyperinflationary event in the United States. Ray Dalio has also talked about this. He fears capital controls could be in place soon, making it more difficult to move money around the world. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Do you think that's going to happen in America? Will there be capital controls in the United States preventing flight out of the country? As we've seen a lot of people a lot more interested in second, third world passports. Now we've seen a lot of people move overseas into various countries through strategic relocation in recent years. And now another shipping crisis looming on fears in southern China. Businesses and consumers are bracing for another shipping crisis. We saw the one with the Suez Canal. We've seen the recent crisis, and now this, disrupting port services and delays in deliveries, putting more pressure on this inflationary event that has me worried, driving up the costs again of basically all goods, mostly raw materials. We've even seen this trickle in to services as well. Also, geopolitically on the horizon, China sends 28 warplanes near Taiwan. We saw all the events in Hong Kong, the extradition bill. This happened during the Trump administration, and now they are showing their military strategic might in this part of the world, indicating that they're not afraid to use force when it comes to Taiwan. This is reported from the Straits Times. Out of Asia, Taipei, China's Air Force sent 28 aircraft close to Taiwan, the largest sortie this year, further ratcheting up military pressure on the government in Taipei as it seeks to strengthen ties with the United States. So I'm looking at that closely. Of course, we have President Joe Biden meeting with Vladimir Putin very soon as well, we saw the NATO meeting, G7, attempting to negotiate with China, also Russia, Vladimir Putin. I mean, this is a big, these are talking points, but things you need to keep your eye on. And my question is, how will this affect the dollar? What will the Fed do next? Will they keep pumping the stock market to new highs? Or do we get a crash like Jim Cramer says we could see short term? Now, I don't know about you, but all the indicators to me look like it's very strategic to get out of the dollar. This is what I've been preaching, telling you to do for years. You need to get out of dollar-based assets into blockchain, into crypto, into gold, into silver, into real estate, land. We're seeing rents go up. At the same time, real wages, incomes, and wealth are on the decline. So this is a very precarious time in American history. It's very dangerous for your pocketbook. I encourage you to prepare now. Also want to hear your thoughts? Click the link below. Join us at schoolbitcoinrich.com. More videos coming. Of course, I teach you everything that you need to know how to prepare for what's currently happening, how to get out of dollars, okay, how to create cash flows and pivot in the largest economic geopolitical disruption that we've honestly seen in our lifetime, arguably in civilization's history. It's so important you learn about this information now. Also share this video, like this video, and hit that subscribe button in the corner, little ding button, and the bell. Make sure you get all of our notifications on breaking news like this and more. I'm Christopher Greene, and I'll see you at school. BitcoinRich.com. Promo code Surfs Up. You'll save that immediate $100 off today. Get in. The opportunities are massive. I think we're going much, much higher in the blockchain space. Have you heard about Bitcoin? This radical, crazy, amazing, new, eccentric technology that I think personally, in my opinion, is going to be bigger than the internet, social media, and e-commerce combined. Did you know there's different types of blockchains, not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum, which is a proof of stake technology? They just did a major upgrade. I teach this at school, so you should click the links up here and down below to learn more. You can learn about XRP, cross-border remittance payments, how this is going to be working with central banks, the IMF, how you can potentially create cash flows, income, change your entire life, start a new job or a business In an environment, guys, it's very, very tough right now. Millions of Americans are losing their jobs. There's been a pandemic. There's been lockdowns. People are depressed. I know I've been depressed part of the year too. I'm sure like many of you tuning in. The point is, you've got to be learning new things. You've got to evolve and change with the times and understand, just like people didn't understand Google or Facebook or some of this tech stuff in the past, you know, it's usually that the masses only get it after it starts to go mainstream. You see, this is brand new. Bitcoin Rich is like something that we've never even heard of before. So anyways, click the links down here or up here. Visit us at school. Get in. We got a special promo code offer. We'll activate immediately. We teach all the fundamentals, everything that you need to know. You join tens of thousands of other students from around the world. I mean, I've spoken on stages. I've met with technologists. We go through all the details, all the specifics on how to use this stuff and apply it in your real life. Just like all of you use social media today, YouTube, Facebook, Google, Twitter, and more, you can learn about blockchain, Bitcoin, and the thousands of other cryptocurrencies today at school at bitcoinrich.com. Read our testimonials, disclaimers on our website. I'm not a financial advisor, but I will teach you how to think different. Think and grow. bitcoinrich.com. School up here or down here. I'll see you there. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Visit us at bitcoinrich.com right now. That's bitcoinrich.com and reserve your seat. Limited seating and prices going up soon.